So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste and a very warm welcome to all of you to the Blub World's 4th Global Education Meet and the 122nd Roundtable. In the last 121 roundtables, more than 1,500 to 2,000 school leaders have shared their ideas, opinions, observations, and what all new they're doing in the K-12 space. We have listed out and selected somewhere around 500 ideas out of those, out of which 100 are right now being experimented across 6,500 schools across the world, and we'll be sharing the results of these ideas, their scalability, their feasibility with you on the 15th of January with the next edition of Blub World coming out. And some of these ideas even you can implement within your institutions once you resume education or resume the institutions that got closed. This is a bilingual platform, so आप अंग्रेजी या हिंदी दोनों में से कोई भी भाषा इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. कोशिश करें कि इनके अलावा कोई भाषा इस्तेमाल ना करें, क्योंकि वो शायद समझ में नहीं आएगी. So before we start, आज when we talk to you, 2020 में हम लोगों को बड़े अच्छे से पता था कि हमें हमारे घर के अंदर बंद रहना है. But 2021 comes with a separate rule book, जिसके रूल्स अभी लिखे ही नहीं गए हैं. So this is what we are trying to do while we talk to you, कि क्या-क्या इनोवेट होने वाला है, क्या-क्या चेंज होगा, कैसे-कैसे होगा, and where do you think your innovation bridges the gap or brings some kind of a new change in the whole K-12 space. आज जब हम आपसे बात करें, हम 3 चीजें आपसे जानना चाहते हैं. पहला, आपका एक्सपीरियंस जो कि 2021 में आप क्या करने वाले हैं. सेकंड, कोई ऐसी इनोवेशन जो आप इंप्लीमेंट करने वाले हो जो दूसरे आपसे सीख सकें. एंड थर्ड एंड द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, थोड़ी सी क्रिस्टल गेजिंग कि आपसे हम भविष्यवाणी करवाएंगे 2021 की कि आपको क्या लगता है 2021 में स्कूल्स में क्या होने वाला है. So very warm welcome to all of you once again, just to set the tone and set the context and the rules of this very platform. So this is a bilingual platform. First of all, आप अंग्रेजी हिंदी में से कोई भी भाषा इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. Secondly, this is a timed platform. ये स्पीच मैराथन नहीं है. यहाँ हमें 100 मीटर की रेस करनी है with our speech. So it's a sprint. कि आपके पास अपना एक लिमिटेड टाइम है बोलने का, उसमें आपको फटाक से सबसे बेस्ट फुट आगे रख के बढ़िया आइडिया दे देना है. दिस वेरी कॉन्सेप्ट कम्स फ्रॉम अ वेरी सिंपल बिलीफ दैट हम सब अपने टाइम से ज्यादा टाइम कहीं खर्च नहीं करना चाहते, हम लेट नहीं होना चाहते. इसलिए हम सब जनों को एक लिमिटेड टाइम पे म्यूट करेंगे. इफ यू गेट म्यूटेड, प्लीज डोंट गेट ऑफेंडेड. इट इज जस्ट टू फिनिश दिस एक्टिविटी ऑन टाइम. आपका म्यूट होना आपके सम्मान को या आपके आइडिया के सम्मान को बिल्कुल कम नहीं करता. मैं इसीलिए ये पहले ही हाथ जोड़ के आप लोगों से कह रहा हूँ, इफ यू गेट म्यूटेड, प्लीज डोंट गेट ऑफेंडेड. इट इज जस्ट टू फिनिश दिस एक्टिविटी ऑन टाइम. तो आज व्हेन आई इनवाइट यू टू द 122nd राउंड टेबल, आज हम बात करेंगे अबाउट रीस्टार्टिंग एजुकेशन, इनोवेटिव स्ट्रेटजीज फॉर द न्यू सेशन. रीस्टार्टिंग एजुकेशन एक ऐसा टर्म है जो बहुत लोगों को ऑफेंड करता है, बिकॉज शिक्षा कभी बंद हुई नहीं थी. बट वी मस्ट रिमेंबर, अब हमारे पास सच में उसको रीस्टार्ट करने का एक दूसरा मौका है, बिकॉज आसपास की पूरा समाज, आपके बच्चे, आपके पेरेंट्स, आपके स्टेक होल्डर्स, सब की मेंटालिटी में बहुत मेजर शिफ्ट आया है. वो शिफ्ट कुछ जगहों पर अच्छा है, कुछ जगहों पर खराब है. सो ये शिफ्ट आपको एक मौका दे रहा है शिक्षा को रीडिफाइन करने का. So thank you so much once again for being here with us today this morning. A very warm welcome to all of you. Let me invite the chair for the round table today, जिनकी आज 2 जिम्मेदारियां हैं. पहली, इस राउंड टेबल को शुरू करना, इसको कॉन्टेक्स्ट देना, एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली जितने आइडियाज आए उनमें से 3 टॉप आइडियाज को सेलेक्ट करना, क्योंकि उन्हें हम कल 10 तारीख को अवार्ड करेंगे. When we have an amazing list of speakers starting from the chairman of AICTE, Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe. Then we have Dr. Sanjay Roy, founder of Jaipur Literature Festival. Then after him, we have Padma Shri Gauri Ishwaran. A lot of people talking about अब education कैसे evolve करेगी. So a very warm welcome to the chair for the round table today, Mr. Vinesh Menon, who's the CEO for Education, Skilling and Consulting Services at the Ampersand Group. Vinesh ji, a very warm welcome. The next 5 minutes are yours. Please unmute your audio.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Daksh. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the year 2021. I think I've stopped telling Happy New Year now. I think I've started saying maybe have a more productive and a glitch-free year ahead to all. Thank you, Blub World, for inviting me and bestowing the honor of chairing this very interesting roundtable discussion, aptly titled Restarting Education Through Innovative Strategies. Of course, Daksh, you already mentioned it, and I'm also one of those who felt that somewhere deep inside me, the word restarting education is not really finding favor, because to all our eyes, the education delivery, or at least the efforts towards it, never stopped. Many teachers, parents, school owners, and students rose up to the occasion to do whatever one can do to keep the education imparting going in one form or the other across the country, both in private space as well as public schools. So in a way, I think restarting physical school services may be a better opening title, but of course that is in spirit. Having said that, very excited with the format. I think it's a great idea to have a roundtable, very, very different from panel discussions. And the timing for this is just perfect. It cannot be better. I think great to see this audience. We have a very august gathering of principals, as I understand, from across the schools pan India. Now, really speaking, the principals are the real practitioners, the real soldiers on the ground who have been in the thick of action. They have reacted to the suddenness of the school closures, transitioning to technology powered platforms, ensuring continuity in education, parent engagement. That's been a big, big challenge for everybody. Motivating their own teams of teachers to keep a watch and maintaining and ultimately, maintaining a balance, this whole income and expenditure of a school, fee issues, etc. It's been a tough period for everybody. So my big salute to all the principals and academicians across the country and the ones who are here for being able to really go through this period with such resilience, and with such dedication. Uh, so really speaking, who better than them to opine, brainstorm, dialogue on the topic of strategizing for restarting schools and education. Yes, I'm the session chair. Thank you so much for this honor. And I'm taking the liberty as a session chair to just set the context, uh, through 5 keywords or key sentences that I'm placing on the table for all of you to just keep in mind. Of course, it doesn't mean that all the points have to be within these 5 keywords or sentences. If there is something which I have missed out or something can come from outside these 5 points, that is also welcome. And I'll be looking forward to listening to that. But I've just decided to put these 5 keywords or sentences just to set the context. Point number 1, different strokes for different canvases or different strokes for different people. Uh, India follows a federal structure in education. We have seen that in the diversity of rules in many areas, including fee regulation. And even today, we are seeing that when schools have to open, different states are following different plans. Gujarat is planning to open classes 10th and 12th. Punjab wants to start classes from the fifth grade. Delhi has Sabtak, they've not even started the classes or they've not even decided when to do it. मैं तो तमिलनाडु और साउथ में जा ही नहीं रहा हूँ. That's a completely different planning that's happening there. So really speaking, I think among all of you also, it's important that we are sensitive to the fact that what works in one school, in one area or in one part of the country may not be necessarily the exact thing that can work in the other. Having said that, best practices can always be shared, but please do not feel that you have to say exactly what someone else is saying, because we are completely sensitive that this could be very, very different according to your environment of your school. Point number 2, uh, we've all seen movies, or her movie mein heroes or heroines hote hain. If you draw an analogy to the movies, to the education environment, every movie's got a central character and a theme around which the movie really pans out. Yahan pe the central character is the child. Make no mistake about it. The central character is the child and the student. And it is closely followed by the learning provider, which is the teacher. So the rest, I think, is support cast. These two are critical for the entire system to go forward. And every single idea, every point, every single thought process has to be centered around these two very important elements of education. The theme, of course, is education delivery. And eventually, I think a confident child has to come out into adulthood after he or she goes through this journey of schooling. So यहाँ पे what has pandemic done and how are we able to handle it probably will be very, very interesting to hear. So the सारा जो script है, the story, the direction will all have to be around this central theme and character. Number 3, innovations and customizations. I think India has always been known to be a very creative country. Creativity has been at its heights as far as the pandemic is concerned, across sectors. Education is no different. And I know all of us have done a lot of small things. And we all had some eureka moments, which has really worked during this period. It'll be lovely to hear them. And I think Daksh also mentioned that, Ojo, that little magic moment that has come into your mind, that can be very, very interesting to hear. Number 4, technology adaptation and challenges. Now, we all know that this has happened faster than expected. I've been telling many people, and I think Daksh, I told you also once, I don't remember, but most of the seminars and conferences that we used to attend pre-pandemic, Her seminar, her conference, there used to be a theme about technology. And we all used to talk about it. Technology se ye karenge, wo karenge. Lekin we hardly walk the talk. It is a pandemic and the last 9 to 10, 12 months, which has really made us realize the importance of technology and the integration of technology into academia. और उसके साथ साथ आ गया National Education Policy 2020. If all of you have read that, there's a lot of connection that will be there towards technology, and implementation of many of the NEP 2020 points cannot be done without technology. So how has technology been adapted into all of you? Challenges हुई है तो वो भी बता दीजिए. Or if there is something that is, so let's touch upon technology as a keyword. And finally, standard operating procedures or SOPs. I think we all know that as we move towards opening the schools, I think we need to have SOPs right from planning to implementation, training, communication, engagement of parents, engagement of students, counseling. So many things would be required. So I'm hoping that that is also going to be touched upon. So these 5 points or 5 keywords or 5 sentences is what I felt can be a structure around which we can talk. Feel free to not get constrained by it. Do keep the thoughts flowing. Of course, so long as it is within the time frame set and within the modality set by the moderator. Yahan pe to Daksh is the moderator, and I've seen that he is very, very competent as far as time management is concerned. So I'll be keenly taking notes. I'll probably intervene as may be required. But most of all, I'll be actually learning from all of you and learning to see what all has been the thoughts in each of you. With that, I'd like to set the session open, and Daksh, over to you. If I've not responded on a few areas, do ask me questions, but otherwise we can go forward.
Thank you so much, Vinesh ji, for such a structured start to the morning. हम लोग जब रोज हमारे राउंड टेबल चेयर से बातचीत कर रहे होते हैं तो हमें बहुत सारे एनविजनिंग स्टेटमेंट्स मिलते हैं. आज आपने बड़ा अच्छा सा स्ट्रक्चर हमें दे दिया कि जिसके अंदर हम आज बातचीत करें. सो टू समराइज व्हाट यू सेड कि रीस्टार्टिंग द फिजिकल स्कूल ज्यादा एक अच्छा टॉपिक होता. ये बात बिल्कुल सही है कि शायद लैंग्वेज की सेंसिबिलिटी यही कहती है, पर हम शायद उससे थोड़ी सी इंडिपेंडेंस ले गए, क्योंकि शिक्षा काफी हद तक अब एक अपॉर्चुनिटी दे रही है कि आप उसे पूरी तरह से रीडिफाइन कर दें, कुछ नया कर दें. एंड ये प्लेटफॉर्म बनाने के पीछे बड़ा सिंपल सा ऑब्जेक्टिव ये था दैट लेट्स क्रिएट अ को लर्निंग स्पेस. क्योंकि अब nobody is the custodian of knowledge. कस्टोडियन ऑफ नॉलेज अब शायद गूगल का कोई सर्वर है जो यूएस में या अंटार्कटिका में कहीं है, जो सारी नॉलेज इकट्ठी करके या इंफॉर्मेशन इकट्ठी करके बैठा है. हम लोग अब सब केवल नॉलेज शेयर करके विजडम क्रिएट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, और इसीलिए अब बहुत सारी फ्रेंडशिप और बहुत सारी को लर्निंग की बहुत आवश्यकता पड़ने वाली है, जिसको हम कहेंगे कोलैबोरेशन. रादर व्हाट वर्क्स इन वन स्कूल माइट नॉट वर्क एनीवेयर एल्स, या दूसरे सिचुएशन में वो काम ना करे, तो उसके लिए पूरी तरीके से सेंसिटिव है व्हाइल वी टॉक. चाइल्ड बीइंग द सेंट्रल कैरेक्टर. चाइल्ड को हम हीरो समझते तो हैं लेकिन प्रैक्टिस में बनाते नहीं, क्योंकि हमारे पूरे एजुकेशन सिस्टम में ऐसा कोई फीडबैक मैकेनिज्म नहीं है जहां हम हमारे फाइनल कंज्यूमर का थॉट प्रोसेस जानने का प्रयास करें. हम केवल अपने उम्र के गलतियां बच्चों में सुधारने की कोशिश करते हैं, और आई थिंक that won't work anymore. We'll need a new setting. So thank you so much, Vinesh ji, for giving this an amazing start. Let me now invite the first speaker for today. But before I invite them, हम लोग जब ये पैनल्स बनाते हैं तो उसमें हम 2 चीजों का बहुत ख्याल रखते हैं. पहला, ज्योग्राफिकल डाइवर्सिटी, कि हमारे पास हर स्ट्रेटा, हर तरीके के शहर, हर तरीके के गांव, हर तरीके के लोगों का पर्सपेक्टिव हो, ताकि ये केवल एक एलिटिस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म न बन जाए और इसमें एक डेमोक्रेसी ऑफ आइडियाज एंड डेमोक्रेसी ऑफ कंसर्न्स रहे. एंड सेकेंडली, अभी तक एजुकेशन में स्कूल सबसे क्रिटिकल फैक्टर होता था और आगे भी होगा, क्योंकि फिजिकली उसी के पास वो अथॉरिटी है जहां वो सर्टिफिकेशन, सिग्नलिंग सब कुछ करेगा. बट अब कुछ ऐसी एक्सपेक्टेशन स्कूल से पैदा हो गई हैं जो कि बहुत ही हाईटेक हैं, जो स्कूल के रिसोर्स ब्लैंकेट में आ नहीं पाती हैं. तो उन स्किल्स के लिए बहुत सारे एड इनेबलर्स हैव कम इनटू द फील्ड, जिसको कोई एडटेक कहता है, कोई किसी ना किसी तरीके का सर्विस प्रोवाइडर, कोई कंसल्टेंट, कोई एडवाइजर, कोई कुछ. तो नाउ वी हैव ट्राइड टू इंटीग्रेट देम एज वेल टू गेट एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग फ्रॉम देम how do they see education evoluting. So let me invite the first speaker for today, Mr. Gunwant Jain, who's the founder of IITians Curious Minds and fellow Teachers for India. He's from IIT Gandhinagar and right now is living in Mumbai. So Gunwant ji, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio and a very warm welcome.
Thank you, Daksh. Thank you so much. First of all, just a correction. I'm a graduate from IIT Madras and I have been a speaker at IIT Gandhinagar. So I think that was the point where things happened. Okay. I think Vinesh sir have done pretty much it. He has laid a central structure. So frankly, I feel really honored to be at the place to learn from everyone out here. And when it comes to education, since the time I was in Teach for India, I have taught in slums. I have understood what are the ground expectations. Since then, there's one question that always pops up in my mind. I would like to put that question across in the form of a small activity. Hardly 15 seconds will be taken. Here, I would like all of us to just jot down 10 really strong qualities that you would like from a teacher for a child of yours. So, like, if I have a daughter, what kind of qualities I would look for a teacher for my daughter? Be it perseverance, be it consistency, be it visionary, be it high values, or be it highly energetic, be it playful, be it joyful, be it unbiased, be it receptive, be it anything. I just want all of us to just write them down first, or at least have them in our mind. It hardly take 5-10 seconds. I I hope we all have done that part. Now, the next question that I would raise is, are these qualities a subset or the core qualities of a leader also? Just have a look. So fundamentally, we have come. I have always believed that teacher is a true leader. Okay, and what has happened? Let's understand. We all, as a teachers, have signed up for this profile. We wanted to be leader for our students. We want to do a lot of things for our students. But what we end up doing, if I just put across 9 or 10 working hours of a teacher, we can definitely see there are 3 broad categories in which the teacher works. First, 3 to 3.5 hours is the teaching part. Then 2.5 to 3 hours is the academic administration part, be it paper setting, paper correction, note setting, and all the academic related, which is non-interaction based. And third and the last part is hardcore administration. If a teacher is assigned to be a class teacher, I'm sure we all know what kind of administrative responsibilities are under the shoulder of the teacher. Now, let's just understand the teacher perspective. You signed up for a leadership profile. You end up doing an administrative profile for almost 2/3 of the time of working, and remaining 1/3 that you do the content delivery. It's more or less like an information channelization. We all have seen Bloom's taxonomy, and from there I will take the context that providing information is the lowest form of education, or at a certain topics in a certain subject, we also cater to the skills, which is a bit higher order of the taxonomy. So imagine a teacher into that situation of a diaspora, where his belief system is somewhere else, he is doing something else. And because of that, we all have had our own grief or disagreements with the system which was pre-2020. Okay. And we all were not very happy. Now imagine a situation, a non so happy teacher taking the leadership role of our future generation. Definitely we can't expect leaders out of them. Okay? Even though the teacher want to be, but he cannot be. That's how, I'm not blaming anyone. It can be parents community, let's say our teachers community as well, or maybe the school community. Let's not blame anyone. It's just the way things have evolved. Now, if the city is made, you cannot build up a new city unless there's a demolition. Okay? There were resources available, but demolition never happened. I think this year 2020 have served the year of demolition, because we all have become very, very receptive.
Thank you so much, Gunwan ji. The first time slot was over, but we'll try to come back to you. आपने बहुत अच्छी कुछ बातें कही. सबसे पहला टीचर्स की आप क्वालिटी लिस्टिंग करें तो कहीं ना कहीं वो एक लीडर की क्वालिटीज का सबसेट बन जाता है, और वो उसी एस्पिरेशन या परसेप्शन के साथ में इस प्रोफेशन में आता है, एंड फाइनली इट टर्न्स आउट टू बी एन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव जॉब, जहां पे उसकी बिलीफ सिस्टम चैलेंज हो जाती है और उसे समझना मुश्किल हो जाता है कि एम आई इन द राइट प्लेस और नॉट. और उस समय पे उससे एक्सपेक्ट किया जाता है कि वो इतने सारे बच्चों को लीड करे, इनोवेट भी करे, रिसर्च भी करे, पेडागोजी पे भी काम करे, मेथोडोलॉजी भी सुधारे. सो दिस इज वेयर द रियल डिस्कनेक्ट हैपेंस. और आपने जिस बात पे कंक्लूड किया वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि कुछ भी नया बनाने के लिए पुराने को टूटना जरूरी है. डिमोलिशन इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. और टीचर्स की ताकत जितना इंडिया जानता है शायद दुनिया में कोई देश नहीं जानता होगा, क्योंकि यहाँ के एक शिक्षक ने इंडिया को भारत का कॉन्सेप्ट दिया था, चाणक्य ने चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य को जन्म दिया था, एंड फाइनली इंडिया फाउंड अ ज्योग्राफिकल बाउंड्री, और जिसको हम आज इंडिया विजुअलाइज करते हैं उसे एक टीचर की ही देन है। और उस टीचर के हम जो आगे की जनरेशंस हैं उनके बिलीफ सिस्टम को, सच बात है, उनकी क्वालिटीज से बियॉन्ड जाकर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव बनाकर बहुत कमजोर कर दिया गया है। सो वी नीड टू थिंक ऑन दीज लाइन्स। थैंक यू सो मच गुणवंत जी फॉर एडिंग दिस पर्सपेक्टिव। ये काफी एक नई बात थी जो अभी तक प्लेटफॉर्म पर नहीं आई थी। सो लेट मी नाउ इनवाइट द पीपल हु आर रियली प्रैक्टिसिंग इट एवरी डे, जिनके लिए रोजाना की लड़ाई है कि सुबह उठें, ऑनलाइन क्लासेस को कंटिन्यू करवाएं, पेरेंट्स को कन्विंस रखें, बच्चों को एंटरटेन रखें, टीचर्स को सेटिस्फाइड रखें। इनकी प्लेट में बहुत कुछ है जो ये हैंडल कर देते हैं, पर तब भी they have a very difficult life to lead. So a very warm welcome to the first school leader for today, Dr. Sunanda KC, Principal, Rathinam International Public School from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. Sunanda ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio and a very warm welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. I hope you could all hear me.
Yes.
Right. From what we've learned from this pandemic, there's one thing that was a takeaway for me. That is, effective learning and teaching can happen regardless of what the media is. That is something that I think we need to understand. And do we need to open the schools? Definitely, because I think vaccine or no vaccine, we will have to live alongside COVID-19 and maybe any other, future challenges that we might have. So I think we should safely open and also be ready and resilient for our future, challenges that might come. So we need to be ready for all that. And somehow I feel that, attendance has taken a different meaning altogether. Maybe, once the school reopens, it may not be necessary for the children to come and learn inside those 4 walls all the time. Maybe it could be just 5 days of 4 or 5 days of coming to school. The rest is, where they'll have to start learning on their own. And I feel this is where, the project-based learning, applied learning would help a lot, where, children can do things on their own. And, I'm sure everybody is familiar with blended learning, where, the child learns according to his pace. So I think that is something that we need to really tap on and to make sure that, we cannot do away with schools altogether. We need to, see one-to-one. Teachers need to interact with the children. That is definitely there. But at the same time, we need to give them a face-to-face time, and at the same time for them to study on their own, research on their own. And that's where this project-based and applied learning helps quite a lot. So that is one thing we need to carry on with us as we go on further. And like sir was saying, Vineet sir was saying, we do need to close that divide. There's the digital divide, as we call it. I think we need to make sure that it is accessible to all. And because, I think that is going to be the new normal. That's going to be the new tools that we need to carry with us. So that should be accessible to everybody, no doubt. Alongside with technology, I know when my teachers took up online learning, I think the first challenge they faced was how to teach them through online and where to get the right resource material. So for that, they had to do a lot of research, collect the best possible way in which they could, impart that particular concept. So that is something that we'll have to live with and to impart, collect, and then, make sure that the teacher as a facilitator gives just that little bit, that curiosity, that what shall we say, a beginning for the children, and let the children do the rest of the research. I think they learn a lot more that way. Apart from that, I think there's one thing else that we need to really, really give a lot of importance to is, to give enough support, whether it's emotional or, mental health. I think that's basically what I was trying to say, because I think that is one area that I felt that maybe we had not focused enough, because, everybody is in their homes. But then when you look at it, they have a different experience at home. Every child seems to have a different experience. And I think we need to take, and the kind of, image that comes out seems to be something not so good. So I think we need to focus a lot on mental health. make sure that there's enough support from the school, from the teachers to the children to make sure that, they're fine, they're okay. There's always somebody for them to talk to. And I think that is something that we need to carry on forward with, even after the pandemic is over. So I think that is something that we need to carry forward with us. So this is basically what I want to.
Thank you so much, Sunanda ma'am. To summarize what you said, and since the first time slot is over, that effective learning and teaching can happen regardless of the media. ये बहुत important एक factor है जो हमें शायद अब realize भी कर लेना चाहिए और इस पे काम करना भी शुरू कर देना चाहिए, क्योंकि हम लोगों ने मीडिया को बहुत ज्यादा इज्जत दे दी थी. And media not in the sense of the TV media that you see, लेकिन physical classroom को बच्चा ऐसे बैठेगा तो वो ऐसा discipline होगा, तो ये जो external atmospheric factors थे हमने उनको central factor से ज्यादा important बना दिया, जो कि थी learning. और एक बहुत important बात जो आपने बोली कि हमें future challenges के लिए resilient बनना है. वो resilience हमारे यहाँ ना तो defined है, ना उसके लिए कोई काम किया जाता है, because this is something that's very important now, क्योंकि आप कोई भी एक ऐसी rule book या ऐसी administrative किताब अब नहीं बना सकते जो साल भर चल जाए, because the atmosphere around you is changing at a very rapid pace. कब गवर्नमेंट कोई नया नोटिफिकेशन दे देती है, कब दुनिया कोई नया वायरस दे देती है, ये समझना भी बहुत मुश्किल हो रखा है. तो इसलिए आपको बार बार इनोवेट करते रहना होगा. Attendance has got a new definition. ये बात बिल्कुल सही है. Attendance as a concept now has एक तरीके से तो obliterate हो गया और दूसरी तरीके से reborn होने की कोशिश कर रहा है. It has become kind of a phoenix कि वो अपनी ही ashes में से वापस जिंदा होगा. अब कैसे वो नहीं पता. Face and screen time का balance ये बनाना is the biggest challenge, क्योंकि अभी जैसे बहुत अच्छा आइडिया one of the school leaders gave just some days back कि अब जब आप अपने schools वापस reopen करें, अपने पूरे teachers की टीम को 2 भागों में divide कर दें. Make a team that works only on online teaching, make a team that works for the physical teaching, ताकि ये दोनों अपने अपने skill sets को अच्छे से इस्तेमाल कर सकें. Physical teaching आपके experienced teachers कर सकते हैं और नए teachers आपकी online teaching का ध्यान रख सकते हैं. तो ये एक ऐसी administrative चीज है जो बहुत आपके लिए जिंदगी को sorted कर देगा. Then finally, tools of learning to be accessible. बच्चों के बैग को अब किसी digital device से replace करना है. वो digital device affordable हो, secured हो. ये अगला एक बड़ा challenge है जिसके लिए हमें काम करना चाहिए. And finally, giving enough support. हर टीचर को ये बात समझ आ गई कि अब आप कंटेंट डिलीवरी के लिए या पढ़ाने के लिए तो हैं ही नहीं, आप केवल फैसिलिटेट करने के लिए हैं. और एक फैसिलिटेटर को सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एक चीज का ध्यान रखना चाहिए, दैट यू नेवर लर्न फ्रॉम आंसर्स. आप अगर अपनी खुद की जिंदगी को भी देखेंगे तो आपको जितनी चीजों के जवाब दिए गए, उन जवाबों से आप नहीं सीखे, आप उनके सवालों से सीखे. सिंस द क्वेश्चन वाज देयर, दैट्स व्हाट इग्नाइटेड योर ब्रेन टू थिंक अबाउट द आंसर. तो फैसिलिटेटर को अब केवल क्वेश्चंस पूछने हैं. द टीचर नाउ हैज टू बी द क्वेश्चन बैंक, नो मोर द आंसर बैंक. तो उस तरीके से टीचर का रोल अब रिडिफाइन होगा. सो थैंक यू सो मच सुनंदा मैम. लेट मी इनवाइट द नेक्स्ट स्पीकर फॉर टुडे, मिस अदिति रॉय, प्रिंसिपल, माउंट कोलंबस स्कूल फ्रॉम दिल्ली. अदिति मैम, ओवर टू यू फॉर द नेक्स्ट 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio.
Good morning, everyone. And as Mr. Menon said, that it's no point saying Happy New Year. Let's wish, hope we have a fruitful year this 2021. And our panel discussion, which we were having today, is mostly on how to reopen the school effectively, because what we have seen, not in the context of India, I'm talking about globally, we have seen that reopening of schools, many schools had reopened even when we were under lockdown. In June, in July, and the outcome was like they opened up the school because we did not have that know-how or the ability to manage how it is to be done. And so after a few days, again, there were cases on the rise and they had to be closed down. So we do not want something that way to happen. As far as as Mr. Menon again said, that it has got different strokes as per the different canvas. So Delhi till now has not yet come up with something like when do we reopen our schools. But yes, brainstorming is on, like how do we reopen. My idea would be like, what is that my idea would be, as just now Mr. Jain made us do our thing, that what kind of teacher would you want for your child. Taking a cue from that, I would be like, let us all be a problem solver here, because this is something which is going to stay with us. It's not that, okay, for for next 2-3 months we plan something, but it's something which can happen. As Dakshay said, that another new strain might come on. and it might pose something else for us. So what we have to do is, like, all the stakeholders related to school needs to be educated here in the sense is that we have now educated ourselves with remaining at home and managing everything at home. But now when the students are going to come out, because we have to remember that this vaccine is not for the kids, this is a vaccine which will be applicable only 18 onwards. So our school children are below that. So we would be, it would be very much important for us to ensure that these kids, when they are coming to school, the parents back at home should not worry that my child is going to get affected today. Some way infection is going to happen. That the parent has to, somehow be at ease. Only then the child can, then the physical opening of school can be possible. So in that way, we have to educate all the stakeholders, like what are the basic things which we need to follow. And before we have we think on a date, we have to run. We should go for a dry run with our members. We should go for a dry run. Many things have been given. One, I would say, yes, we have to, it's not physical presence. As Sunanda ma'am just now said, that attendance can be anyway. You cannot have a 5-day or a 6-day class now, the new normal. You cannot expect every student, every class 40 filled up and cramped up. No, it's not going to happen that way. We have to, break it down into, maybe staggered, as we say. The word is the staggered, that we have to break it down. It can be only 2 days physical classes the child might come. And then the remaining 4 days, another group is coming and they are at home. So this is extremely important. This is extra, and this can be done only by the school, the management, we.
Thank you so much, Aditi ma'am. Some amazing points, but the time was over. So to summarize what you said, reopening the schools effectively, ये एक स्टेटमेंट है जिसका बहुत ज्यादा सब जन इंतजार कर रहे हैं कि इस स्टेटमेंट के ऊपर कोई कुछ बोल जाए, कोई लंबे आइडियाज दे जाए, क्योंकि उसको पॉइंट ये है स्कूल तो खुलना ही है, बस उसकी इफेक्टिवनेस और एफिशिएंसी है जिस पे क्वेश्चन है सारा. तो इफेक्टिवनेस और एफिशिएंसी में सिंपल सी ये चीज है कि इफेक्टिवनेस में तो आप सैनिटाइजेशन रिक्वायरमेंट्स पूरी कर लें, बाकी सारे नॉर्म्स पूरे कर लें, लेकिन एफिशिएंसी में ये है कि आप कितने बच्चों को ग्रुप्स में बुलाएंगे, टीचर्स से कैसे ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन का ब्लेंड बनवाएंगे. दिस इज वेयर द रियल गेम लाइज फॉर द नेक्स्ट 1 to 2 months when we are resuming schools in different states at different points of time, अलग अलग क्लासों के लिए. For instance, when we talk about South India, तो कर्नाटका में जो स्कूल्स खुले हैं वहां पर मैक्सिमम जगह पर अटेंडेंस केवल 3 से 12% के बीच में रेंज कर रही है. उससे ज्यादा बच्चे स्कूल नहीं आ रहे हैं, क्योंकि प्रॉब्लम ये है पूरे इकोसिस्टम में बच्चे की हेल्थ की जिम्मेदारी या उसका ओनस लेने को कोई तैयार नहीं है. ना पेरेंट, ना स्कूल, ना गवर्नमेंट, ना लोकल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, कोई भी नहीं. और वो एक बहुत बड़ा ऐसा फैक्टर है जो लोगों को डिसुएड कर रहा है कि वापस अपने बच्चे को वो स्कूल भेजें. जिसपे आपने बहुत अच्छी चीज कही कि पूरे स्टेक होल्डर्स को एजुकेट कीजिए, उन्हें सबको अपलिफ्ट कीजिए, थोड़ा सा उन्हें इस बात के लिए तैयार कीजिए कि ठीक है आपको बच्चा स्कूल भेजना है, वी आर टेकिंग केयर, यू ऑल्सो टेक केयर. और ये चीज कोई नहीं कह सकता कि साहब ये बच्चा स्कूल जाकर इतनी बजे इन्फेक्ट हो गया, बिकॉज वी डोंट नो कोविड सो वेल. So thank you so much, Aditi ma'am. Let me now invite the next speaker, ताकि पूरे डिस्कशन का फ्लो थोड़ा सा वापस डिसरप्ट हो और कुछ नई बातें वापस से आए. So let's call an ed enabler जो वापस से सेक्टर को किसी अलग तरीके से मदद कर रहे हैं. So a very warm welcome to Mr. Kinnaran Sachdev, co-founder and CEO at Nourish from Gurgaon, Haryana. Kinnaran ji, over to you for the next 3 minutes. A very warm welcome.
Thank you, Daksh. It's such a pleasure to see everybody here talking about how we can restart schools. I have a very different perspective. Let me just first highlight what we do. So our platform Nourish kind of picked up a lot of steam during the lockdown because we enable anyone. Let's say it's a dance teacher, it's a fitness coach, it's a physics teacher. We even have celebrities like Master Chef Sanjeev Kapoor using our platform to teach anyone anywhere. So the platform can be used to launch an academy and anyone can reach out and start teaching anybody at any age. Now, there are 2 important points that I would highlight from my journey. So the first one being the skills that you learn at school aren't the skills that you need to be successful in life, or to be able to make a career either as a scientist, as an entrepreneur, or as an engineer. And my personal background comes from a point of view where I studied at a Bal Bhavan school, which is kind of a government-led school in a small town called Bhiwani. I went on to do my bachelor's in Chandigarh, Punjab University, and then I studied at Newcastle University, UK for my master's, which is considered to be one of the best in England for biosciences. So I've seen from the grassroots to some of the best places in the world, how do they work? And this is a common lesson. Even while I was working as a scientist, the skills that I utilized weren't the skills that schools were teaching at that point of time. And I'm fairly confident they aren't even still now. So that's point number one. You have to keep in mind that what you do at school brings a structure, brings a discipline, but ultimately it is not the holy grail of success or continuity of learning in life. I think the ultimate fact lies in the thought process where we can enable a student to learn anything at his own pace by himself. Because as Gudwant highlighted, it's not information that holds the key anymore. It's beyond the information, the ability for you to make sense of the piece of information, join other pieces of information within that particular topic, and then make something around it is what actually makes you attractive to build a good career portfolio in any direction that you choose. So what we were able to achieve and see through our platform was that these people who actually are, let's say, professional scientists or coaches and are not particularly teacher, given the output or the ability through technology, were able to reach out to students everywhere and teach. And I personally think the structure of education has been altered by this pandemic forever. And it's a great blessing in disguise. I think it's one of the best things that has happened to the education domain in the last 50 or probably the last 100 years, because now we've broken the shell open. What we now see is the possibility of your student sitting in any part of the world, sitting at his home and learning by himself and doing things that let him run through. So one of the biggest drawbacks that we saw and we see in school students being able to break because they're studying at home is, imagine how you become a master in one subject is spending a lot of time studying that subject for hours. And the structure of the school, which tells you after 45 minutes or an hour, if you were enjoying math, you have to stop and now move to science or social sciences. This structure, now this technology or this distance or this online learning gives us the opportunity to be broken. It gives us the possibility that we rethink everything we are doing. I understand that all the boards, the CBSCs, the state boards, and everybody wants to put a structure around how you teach students. But as educators, my appeal to all of you would be, consider these facts. Look at people who have been able to make a mark in their careers nationally, internationally, in whatever domain. You would see that letting them flow is the key. And you can.
Thank you so much, Kiran sir. The time was over. And आपने बहुत अच्छी एक क्या कह सकते हैं, पूरे डिस्कशन को अच्छा सा छौंक लगा दिया आपने, ताकि सब थोड़े से वापस से जग जाएंगे, एक्साइट हो जाएंगे. That let's give the teacher or the final in last mile connection the independence and the flexibility. उसे periods में मत बांधिए. और जैसा आपने कहा कि जो लोग teachers नहीं हैं, working professionals हैं, उन्होंने भी आपके प्लेटफॉर्म के थ्रू जब पढ़ाया तो उससे काफी engagement से ज्यादा पढ़ाई भी हुई और काफी इंटरेस्टिंग भी हुई. एंड आई थिंक स्कूल एज अ स्ट्रक्चर अब शायद ये होने की तैयारी में है, बिकॉज स्कूल्स हैव नाउ ओपनड अप. वो भी ये देख रहे हैं कि भाई सारी स्किल्स वो डेवलप नहीं कर सकते ना, वो सारी स्किल्स हायर कर सकते हैं. दे आर ऑल्सो नाउ रेडी एंड इन द प्लेस एंड शेप टू लुक एट अ लॉट ऑफ कोलैबोरेशंस हैपनिंग. और आपने जो इस बात कही कि हम जो पूरे एजुकेशन सेगमेंट है उसका शेल अब खुल गया. हम जो सब जने एजुकेशन को बांधने की, स्ट्रक्चर करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, वो काफी हद तक खुल गया. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज व्हेन वी टॉक ऑफ अ कंट्री लाइक इंडिया, ये बात कहनी नहीं चाहिए, बिकॉज एजुकेशन इज नॉट अ बिजनेस, बट इन इंडिया एजुकेशन इज द मोस्ट रेगुलेटेड बिजनेस, जहां पे पॉलिसी उसको पूरी तरीके से चलाती है. इवन व्हेन वी टॉक ऑफ द एनईपी एंड आफ्टर दैट जिस मार्च में हम एनसीएफ का इंतजार कर रहे हैं, वो टिपिकली यही है कि अगली बाउंड्रीज क्या क्या हैं और उनको कैसे कैसे ध्यान रखना है. So thank you so much, Kiran ji, for opening up the discussion to a new aspect. Thank you so much. Let me now invite the next speaker for today, Ms. Rashi Rohtagi, Principal, Seedling the World School from Udaipur, Rajasthan. Rashi ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio.
Hi, thank you, Daksh. Thank you for a warm welcome. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my sincere greetings to the chair and the fellow panelists. So now, when we are sitting and discussing restarting education, I think we are restarting schools. Education was very much in place. And with a lot of permutations and combinations, we have to try and get to a point that suits our requirements, because eventually one size does not fit all. So I would like to quote Steve Jobs here when he says, the heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. Certainly, schools will now be a blend of online, offline, and physical learning. We will have staggered attendance, staggered time slots, and what I actually see to begin with, the first and the very important thing is to conduct diagnostic tests, because we have actually one complete year of online education. We do not know how aptly, how accurately our students are with the grade level expectation. So a sincere religious diagnostic test should be conducted, the results of which should be discussed within this closed room where teacher, principals sit together and they see the strengths and weaknesses of each child. And accordingly, the grouping can be done for children in which fashion they can be called to school. This is one thing that I foresee. The next thing that I see is the individualized teaching program. Now, individualized teaching program can be wherein one group of students who probably are bright lot of students can be dealt with one teacher, because the pace of academics would be faster, wherein another teacher can be dedicated to these children who need more creative activities to be taken up with them, more rigorous practice of concepts to be done. So in times to come, we need a sincere, rigorous collaboration among teachers, a lot of research, and certainly staggered time slots, as ma'am rightly said. Attendance can be in any form, and we cannot bind ourselves to the given stipulated period of time. I further see a lot of investment that the schools have to make is on technology, because the education will now completely change into a new technology-based learning format. And we all, when I say being the pivot, our children, the parents, the teachers, we all have to come together and be technologically upgraded and advanced. Podcasts, Google Classroom, you name it, Skype, all these things can be have become a trend and can be used more rigorously and aggressively in experimenting with online, offline, and physical learning formats. More so, I see that we have to work in close association with parents now. The frequency of parent-teacher meeting can be increased, whether we do it telephonically or we do it on Skype or we call them physically to the school, because a big gap can be seen in the performance, and to bridge that gap, all three factors have to unite and work rigorously so that learning that has been hampered maybe in some situations can be brought back to place, and no neglect of any sort can be seen in times to come. As principal of the school, I really feel that close monitoring is very important. Now, the frequency of staff meeting also has to be increased so that we can expedite the action plan. Now, I foresee the restaurant type school culture coming up. If we collaborate, schools in a district, if they collaborate, so child can be given the liberty of taking the best course from the best teacher or from any school. Moreover, I really feel that budgeting, financial management, and a little awareness to live with minimalistic resources to be imparted at school level, because this pandemic has taught all of us this lesson that we have to really.
Thank you so much, Rashi ma'am. And आपने जिस बात पे पूरा discussion conclude किया, that's something very interesting to know about. कि now the whole setup of education has to turn into a 5-star hotel's breakfast buffet. कि जहाँ पे where you find whatever you find the best of your taste, go and find it there and get taught there. क्योंकि थोड़ी सी independence models में भी अब आएगी, क्योंकि जो school as a structure जो बहुत ही investment intensive एक काम था, वो अभी भी है, वैसा ही है और वैसा ही होगा और चलेगा भी. But more importantly, अब नए options खुलने शुरू होंगे जहाँ पे आप learning और अलग-अलग avenues से ले सकें. Just some days back, we had the founder of Stanford Schools, Dr. S.K. Rathod. He shared the latest idea or innovation that he's doing within his structure of schools, that he has started something, he has, is planning to start something called one-room schools, जहां छोटे छोटे एक एक कमरे हर जगह पे शहर में डिफरेंट लोकेशंस पे होंगे, जहां एक एक कमरे में पढ़ाई होगी अलग अलग टाइम स्लॉट्स पे. So people are now looking at more flexible and more independent models for teaching. So thank you so much, Rashi ma'am. Let me invite the next speaker for today, Ms. Shanuli Ray, Principal SJPS Haldia from West Bengal. Shanuli ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio.
Thank you very much for that. And a very warm good morning to all the panelists. Actually, we are now in a mindset that in the coming session, I hope that the school will be reopening and students will be coming to the schools as earlier they used to come. But there will be certain parameters that as principal, as educators in the school, we have to think about. Because we know this time some of the students will be coming with a welcome note or will be exciting about coming back to the schools, while others may be vulnerable or nervous depending upon their family backgrounds, how they will deal with this situation while coming to the school. So thinking about all these, my strategy will be to implement the 3 E's that I have already started working about. First E is empathy. Second is encouragement or enthusiasm. And third E is engagement. So let me begin with empathy. Here I'll be using one tool that is called empathy mapping. This tool basically will be used to research on the students' emotional balance. So we can see that some of the students will be enthusiastic of coming to the schools while others will be vulnerable. So the teacher's part is to, for the first few days, to observe the students' behavior. So there will be 4 main parameters, that is think, feel, say and do. So these are the 4 main parameters upon which the teachers will observe their students in the class and do the research work. There will be some sub-parameters, and based upon all these 4 parameters, they will gradually plan the lessons or do the necessary actions to deal with children's well-being. So that is the first E, empathy. Now I'll come to the second E, that is encouragement or enthusiasm. So here, when the students will come to the school, there will be some changes. First of all, they will have to wear some protective clothing or mask that they may find it difficult to wear all the time. And second one, that is the most important, that in the class, they will be physically being distanced from their friends or their teachers. So at the first, I think it will be quite difficult for the students to adjust in such a circumstance, because earlier they were used to be in a separate school culture. So here the encouragement or enthusiasm will play a very I think the base role for the teachers or the other school staffs to be proactive and very empathetic while talking to the parents, and first of all reassure them that students may be vulnerable, maybe overreact sometimes. It is okay to be overwhelmed at times, but gradually they need to be adjusted with the new normal. And the teachers should be the role model, or the other staffs in the institution or the school should be the role model in seeing that the adults are also using the same protective measures. They're wearing masks or washing hands, using sanitizers and maintaining social distance with their other students or other teachers and all. So this is how the enthusiasm or encouragement should come back into the students. And third one is proper engagement is required. Now we will have to focus on individual.
Thank you so much, Shanuli ma'am. The time was over. But you said some amazing things. आपने 3 E's बताए for execution. That's empathy, encouragement, and engagement. And जिसमें से सबसे critical is empathy mapping. A lot of schools are right now doing rehabilitation classes for students, because the kind of student that has actually come back to the school is not the same that had gone, because their perceptions, mental setup, understanding, societal interactions, सब कुछ change हो गए हैं. And to bring them back to pace and to a school is very difficult, because most of the students want to lie down after every 15 minutes. बहुत सारे students को अब वो furniture school का समझ में नहीं आता, because they have been accustomed to the sofas and the beds at their home. So this is a very important practice कि आप empathy mapping जरूर करें and try to have a baseline test कि वो basic learning capability में कहाँ है, so that you know उनको कौन से group में आपको डालना है. So thank you so much, Saroli ma'am. Before I invite the next speaker for today, during the discussion, I hope we are in the right direction. I would again request the chair of the roundtable if he wants to add something to the discussion or give a redirection or retweak the direction of the discussion. So Vinesh, would you want to add something, or should we move on to the next one?
No, I think we should move on. I'm listening to everybody very keenly, and I think it's exciting. I honestly didn't know that there are two folks from the edtech industry also. So this is good, because academia and edtech are together, and every single point which I'm listening to has some meaning or the other in the way forward. So please carry on. I do not want to break into the flow at all.
Thank you so much, Vinesh. Let me now invite the next speaker for today, Dr. Vedavati Dinesh, founder and principal, Green Eden Public School from Bengaluru, Karnataka. Vedavati ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio and a very warm welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Daksh. Namaste, panelists, and namaste, everyone. Actually, we are here for the wonderful session with the sparking concept restart. That itself budges in a different way and different mode to start our schools, start with the concepts and start with the things with a new beginning. Coming to the concept, actually, I want a framework to come in where we need to bridge the gap between technology and the educators. Because I just want to concentrate on 4 Rs here. One is restart, rethink, rebuild, and redesigning. See, as a management, we can think to restart and rethink. But again, when it comes to the educators, it's only with their cooperation and coordination and with the biggest support only we can think of redesigning and rebuilding. So it's just a complete urge to make a framework or a policy where we have to build a gap between technology and the educators. Like at present scenario, each and everyone is beyond technology, because in a one of the article which I've read recently in US, they have come with the concept of 1:1. Means one person, one student in a school, one tab will be given to the student, where in order to control the pandemic or the COVID, which is present everywhere around the world. But I just want to tell that, see, technology is a different aspect where educator is a different aspect. But without having a complete dividing concept, or without bridging a gap between educators and the technology, none of the institutions can run. I hope everyone will accept or agree, but I'm not sure about the things, how they think. But according to me, I want a framework or the policy makers and all the educators here to rethink, to come with the new policies and come with the new regulations, where we also should focus on the educators. It's not only the priority has to be given for the technology, especially when we talk about advanced technology. My concept is advanced technology is good to the extent where we can use it in a better way. But when it comes to the educators, even now, when we heard the news of opening of the schools or reopening of the schools, reopening of the classrooms, we can clearly see our child's excitement. We can see our child smiling because they are very happy to see their teachers back. They can sit in the classroom, they can smile at them, they can talk at them, they can share their experiences. That kind of satisfaction or that kind of learning ability will not be given by any of the technologies here. So it's just a common concern from my side, or this is my personal experience where I've come across with a few of the issues coming to the students and the educators. Now it has become a situation where institutions and the big policies have started only to think about the technology. Everyone is behind tab, everyone is behind laptop, everyone is behind the technical advancements, but no one is thinking about the educators. Unless and until we have educators, unless and until we have good teachers in the system, neither we can learn nor we can teach. It's completely an urge to make a policy to come out with the considering the issues where educators are also facing. Because when we have online classes, most of the governments or most of the NGOs completely contributed tax and all for the rural people and the government schools. But ultimately, through the technology, it's the teacher, it's the educator who were there to support the kids. Okay, when schools happen directly, I want a gap between technology and the educators here. Let the technology stay in that place. Let the educators take their place. It should not, advancement of technology should not harm, or advancement of technology should not disturb the integrity or designation of the educators here. As a management or as a principal, I completely urge they should get their complete their complete role, and they should get their complete dignity. Without dignity, normally all educators want their self-respect, their salaries, their working environment has to be good. They should get complete comfortable zone of place of working. They should get that complete respect from the parents. Unless and until we have a good teachers, none of the parents even turn to us. However, education,
Thank you so much, Vedavati ma'am. You took the whole discussion to focus on the real backbone of the education system, our teachers and our educators. And you're very right, Ki, a lot of policies at the moment, even the central government policies, are talking a lot about technology, but nobody's talking very much about teacher training. There are, provisions in the NEP as well where they're talking about teacher training, but I think that has to be stressed more, because teacher training ke saath mein, there's one more aspect to it: improving their current working atmosphere, giving them the right dignity, getting them the salaries on time. वो एक ऐसा challenge है जो कि काफी जने पूरा नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, and the challenge is much bigger in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. वहाँ पे financial impact बहुत ज़्यादा deep है, फीस नहीं आ रही है, स्कूल को sustain करना मुश्किल हो गया है. So thank you so much for adding this point to the discussion. Let me now invite the next speaker for today, Ms. Sonia McPherson, headmistress, the Orbis School from Pune, Maharashtra. Sonia ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. A very warm welcome.
Still a very warm good morning. Thank you so much, Daksh. I'm seeing you again. Thank you so much, Blub World. It's my second time here with you, and it has always been welcoming. Thank you so much for having me here. Let's change the course of our talk. I may not take 2-3 minutes. Probably other worthy dignitaries can take my share of time. I think pandemic, the word that the mostly we have taken it into our dictionary, the mostly used word, the word pandemic we have taken, has taught us lessons that we could never learn, that we could have never taught our little children. And maybe as human beings, we all have come out as evolved, transformation. We have come out of the cocoon. We all are much monitored butterflies. Nature taught us quite a bit. I'm going towards the humane side of pandemic. Post-pandemic, we all have come out hale, hearty, asymptomatic, or through COVID. I don't know, hoping you all have been good. So when we come to the official part of it, yes, we have done the dry run of our buses. I am in school for past more than 3 months, hale and hearty, nothing happened. We are in school. My principal, other core members are coming every day. Our staff is coming. We are trying to get our salaries more regularized. Instead of having twice a day, twice a week teaching for our smaller children, we are having 5 days in a week live session. We are coming out. We are evolving. Some of us have already evolved. I'll come to the other part of it. We have learned to be compassionate. We have learned to understand each other. We have learned to reach out for help and not to feel small when I need help. We are more understanding. We are more caring. And of all, we are human. We have learned our lessons. Mother Earth and nature has taught us very well. We are out there and we are embracing post-pandemic people with open arms. Our schools are ready, and we pray all to be safe and sound till we all get vaccine 2021. So hopefully that will be the word of the year for 2021. Daksh, I'm good. I'm done. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am, for adding the compassion perspective to the discussion. And yes, हम थोड़े ज़्यादा ह्यूमन तो हो गए, हम ह्यूमन होना भूल गए थे, इतना ज़्यादा टेक्नोलॉजी में घुस गए थे. अब टेक्नोलॉजी से इतना उगता गए कि वापस ह्यूमननेस की तरफ हमारा ध्यान चला गया. So thank you so much. Let me now invite the next speaker for today. हम हर डिस्कशन में जैसा मैंने कहा थोड़ी सी वैरायटी लाने की कोशिश करते हैं. So the next speaker comes from the higher education background और उसमें भी एक ऐसी इंडस्ट्री से जो इंडस्ट्री बहुत बुरी कदर से इम्पैक्ट हुई थी कोविड से और अभी तक वो उसका असर झेल रही है. So let me invite the next speaker, Dr. Bhupesh Kumar, who's the principal of Institute of Hotel Management from Ranchi, Jharkhand. Bhupesh ji, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio and a very warm welcome.
Thank you, Daksh. I'll not waste much of time as you have given very less time. So my last experience of last session is there. So I'll wind up in the time limit. Very truly said when we started the session that now nobody is the custodian of the knowledge. And during the sessions, I was hearing all the principles and I could understand. Now the concept of good, better, best has to go in this education sector. Earlier, we used to go for which institute is best, which school is best, our kids should study there and the teachers also vouch for that. Now the thing has to go away and the 2021, as you have said, what is going to come? So I'll say the new thing I'll add up here in this panel discussion is blockchain technology is going to help us in this thing. Blockchain technology, let me explain you like we all are hearing, हम सुनते हैं daily cryptocurrency. They are using the this blockchain technology which is very secured. So now that can be used in, there has been a lot of case studies also and I am doing research on that now, that we can share data with all the institutions can be linked up and all the universities, all the schools so that we can have semester exchange or year exchange and we can have student transfer. Earlier we used to have it international schools and universities. We can exchange the data with each other, their scholarship, their academic performance. And the student need not travel across boundaries or need not travel far away to get the education. In small blocks, in small groups, we can now deliver the education using that technology. And we can even have this placement, recruitment, the career, everything through this data management using the blockchain chain technology. Because in 2021, still as earlier, one of respected principal he was saying that the vaccines are not there still for the kids below 18. So why to send them to school or not to send them to school, or what about parents thinking about? All this will go away if we have education very near to small setups like cluster schools, we can say, and the knowledge sharing between the schools. If we can say like DPS is there, one of the best school in Delhi, and we want the teacher of DPS to teach student of other schools also. This blockchain technology will help to deliver the education to the students of other schools also. They will not be deprived of the knowledge, the best knowledge. So this thing will go away. This school is bad or something like that way. So I'll have to add this much only to this panel, Daksh. The session is back to you.
Thank you so much, Bhupesh ji. And you gave a nice idea that blockchain को आप देश भर के सारे एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट्स को कनेक्ट करने में यूज कर लें और एजुकेशन को बहुत आसानी से ट्रांजैक्टेबल बना दें कि हर कोई हर कहीं से बैठ के किसी भी इंस्टीट्यूट का एडवांटेज ले सके. ये एक बहुत अच्छा आइडिया भी है, लेकिन ये एक बहुत मेजर कॉम्पिटिटिव क्राइसिस भी खड़ी करेगा ओवर अ कोर्स ऑफ टाइम, क्योंकि जिन जिन ब्रांड्स ने इतने सालों की मेहनत करके अपना ब्रांड खड़ा किया है उनको ये एक डाइल्यूशन लग सकता है. लेकिन ये बात सच है कि क्लस्टर स्कूल्स या इजीली एक्सेसिबल एजुकेशन is the future. उसके अंदर भले ही आप कोई सी भी टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करें, उसे आप कैसे भी करें, but this is something that would need to be done and that will be done automatically. So now we have heard all the speakers for today. Abhi, before we go to the next section, the next 2 to 3 minutes is an open floor. अगर आप गलती से म्यूट कर दिए गए थे, If there's some point that you wanted to say, but you could not, so abhi you can just raise your hand and you can take 1 more minute to speak. If anyone wants to do that, I'll wait for a second. You can just put your hand up if you want to add something. Otherwise, we'll move to the next section of the discussion. Okay,
Daksh, one thing I wanted to ask, I could finish my speech because in between I received a call. So I hope it was not, my voice was not disconnected in between.
No.
It was not? Thank
you. Thank you, Bhupesh. So I think most of the people have spoken. So let's go back to the chair of the roundtable for the concluding statements before we conclude the roundtable. So over to Vinesh ji.
So I would like to add on to a point, if I'm allowed.
Please, okay, Rashi ma'am, you can take a minute.
Thank you so much. Say one point that I would like to, bring to the focus is that because of this pandemic, we have really realized, all of us have realized that being healthy is very important. And though the schools have been practicing these meditation and exercising sessions and yogic practices, but I feel since all of us have seen the trauma of corona for over a year now, and children are also quite sensitive, I feel the iron is hot now. The impact of this meditation sessions, yogic practices will be much more. The children can be diverted towards spiritual binding, which is somewhere I feel down the line very, very important for the times to come. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rashi ma'am. So yes, value education, थोड़ा सा spirituality, थोड़ा सा religion, थोड़ी सी अच्छी बातें, इन सब पे वापस जाएं, क्योंकि इसके लिए भी एकदम perfect time है, because rehabilitation करना है, दिमाग को वापस जगह पे लाना है. So thank you so much, Rashi ma'am. Let's now go back to our chair for the concluding statements. Vinesh ji, over to you.
Thank you. I think I've never had a more interesting and exciting platform before this, where I heard so many wonderful points, and it was actually very, very heartening and quite challenging to express thoughts in 3 minutes. Okay, and that too for such a sensitive topic like the pandemic, and where there's so much at stake. So kudos to all of you to have been able to really put forth your points. I was busy, with my pen and paper trying to write down as much as I can. So I'm going to hopefully just, keep giving a few points. I think Daksh did a fantastic job as a moderator, because he summarized everybody's points perfectly after they finished telling what they wanted to. And I think he had actually packaged it all beautifully. So I'm not going to really take the names, but I'm just going to write down again in my style of keywords. I'm just going to just keep talking a few points, which I have picked up, and in no particular order. I think we heard about, the fact that effective learning and teaching need not be restricted to classrooms alone. The whole concept of applied learning, multiple medium or media, as we talk, can be used. And I think that's actually the truth. Imagine there'll be a time when a child sitting at the hinterland of India will probably be having a device in his hand and actually learning through that device. And that probably is the way it's going to be going forward. I think someone talked about research, constant research, and teacher learning and continuous professional development for teachers. I think this is very, very important. I think the whole concept of teacher training should now make way for continuous professional development. The concept of knowledge cannot now be just restricted to few training sessions. It has to be a continuous process. And I think along with knowledge, a lot of soft skills, leadership lessons. I think Gunvan talked about leadership. I think this is all very, very important now for the new age teacher as they go forward. Third point which I picked up is the whole concept of mental health. Some of you referred to it. I think it's critical. Mental health is no longer really, it cannot be a taboo word. In India, the word mental health is seen as a taboo. Now we have to get away from that and be aware that this is going to be probably very, very important to address, not only for a child, but for a child and an adult. And the adult could be a teacher or a parent or even a school owner. I mean, in this whole thing, we are forgetting how stressed a school owner is, because he has to or she has to manage the dynamics and the economics of running a school. So they also would be going through their own problems. So I think mental health is critical. And I think towards the end, we also heard about upgrading oneself physically and mentally in terms of health and physical activity, which is, I think, very, very critical. Some of you spoke about standard operating procedures, dry run, the whole concept of how a parent should be comfortable for sending his or her child. I think that's very true. I heard the word demolition for a restart. We need to demolish to restart. Very true, no doubt about it. But I just want to add a small rider to it. There's also a line which says, do not mend what is not broken. So I think trying to balance these two would be very, very important. because in the excitement to really make a change, we might destroy a few things which probably need not be destroyed in the first place. And I think that is where all of us have to have a very strong balance of managing EQ, which is so important in this sector, the whole emotional quotient, with technology, because if one overrides the other, I think there's going to be a bit of a trouble. So that's something which we need to take care of. We heard a lot about technology. Now, all along, we've been talking about how technology supports brick and mortar schools. Would we have a day when brick and mortar schools supports technology? I don't know. Will we be using brick and mortar schools for improving social, emotional skills, for improving sports and other cultural connections, to actually get a child to come to a school to get reiterated on certain subjects that he otherwise learns through technology? I don't know. But one thing is clear, with NEP bringing in this whole concept of formative years, preparatory years, middle and senior years, I think somewhere we are going through a bit of a dichotomy. There's a lot of emphasis on telling that we can have the bigger children come to school, whereas actually it is the smaller preschool children who really need that physical connect, because the bigger children can actually do it through technology. So how do we do this? Because the parents are scared to send smaller children to school. They are okay for the bigger children to come, whereas in reality, it is the smaller children that really need those initial founding years of schooling for getting their whole foundation in place. So this could be a challenge that we'll have to work on. I think again, one of you all talked about how information is there everywhere, but deploying it and actually leveraging it is really the art that we have to teach children for tomorrow, which I think is very, very important. And clearly, there is a lot of excitement happening through this NEP 2020. On paper, they talk about how a child can actually pick up physics, music, and cricket, and interlink three, and learn that. It's good. It's good on paper. But my only concern with NEP is that by the time all this comes into effect, the real beneficiary will be from a child starting school in 2040, and that means you've really lost 20 years of solid time, and the demographics of this country would get skewed again. So how do we really implement it faster is probably something that the government should look into. Investments into technology, someone mentioned about investments, very true. I think some investments and restructuring has to be done. But this is again where the government of India should be a little more sensitive. I've given a few bites on the budget 21. I think the emphasis that is to be given for education in a budget has to go up dramatically. The government has to come and start supporting schools and education when it comes to devices, internet, bandwidth. There's so many areas that they need to start supporting too, and not put the entire pressure on just the schooling system. But yes, I think investments is likely to happen. From where it's going to happen, I'm not too sure. Parent engagement beyond PTAs. Someone spoke about it. I think that's true. The whole concept of a parent-teacher association meet cannot be the way it is today. I think it has to change. We might tomorrow have continuous Zoom sessions, group discussions. Maybe we'll have parents coming and having a conversation like this, where each parent talks about a few areas which another parent can learn from. I do not know, but I think there'll be a shift in the way the parent engagement happens. Student mapping and understanding different students, grouping of students, interesting space. But I think, again, it has to be continuous and with minimal impact on the students. You see, the real problem is, again, we must keep in mind that the student is a central character in this whole piece. So we can't do anything which disturbs the student too much. HR practices, combining the whole corporatization. There was a time when someone told me that how can you call a child a customer? That's a very corporate word, but the fact is they are a customer, and we need to service them. We need to take care of them. And therefore, how do we bring in this whole corporatization with the education EQ is an area which we need to talk about. I love the whole concept of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, but then how do you apply it to our kind of space is something we need to look at. Some interesting alphabets were used, the 3 E's, empathy, encouragement. That is interesting to hear that. There was R also, which was used: restart, redesign, rebuild. There was also the C, which was used: compassionate, caring, collaborate. I think we should now mix all these 3 and form a sentence out of it. Time is running out, so I won't do that. But I think overall, I would just like to summarize by saying that we need to be really proud and happy that we are in India. If there's anything that the last 10 months has shown us, it is that India as a nation is far, far better poised than many other countries when it comes to fighting a challenge. We have seen that even in more grave situations like terrorist attacks and accidents, COVID-19 is no different. I think we will pull through this together so long as we stay engaged, continue to support each other, and so long as we have got platforms like Blub World to bring us together from time to time to dialogue and learn from each other. So with that, Daksh, I don't know if I overstayed my time, but back to you.
थैंक यू सो मच विनीश जी, आपने पूरे टॉक को इतने बढ़िया से आर्टिकुलेट करके एक साथ समराइज कर दिया कि मजा आ गया उसको सुनने में. एंड बिफोर वी मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट सेक्शन, अगला सेक्शन एक्चुअली हमारे कोर कंज्यूमर या कोर कस्टमर के ऊपर बात करने का है, जहां पे ब्लब वर्ल्ड सिंपली काम करता है. हम लोग हर महीने, ब्लब वर्ल्ड हैज अ वेरी सिंपल कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ टीन्स इंस्पायरिंग टीन्स. हम हर महीने दुनिया भर में ऐसे बच्चे ढूंढते हैं who are doing amazing work and we share their stories with a lot more teenagers across different schools. बट हमने कुछ समय पहले एक चीज रियलाइज करी. वी स्टार्टेड एन एक्टिविटी कॉल्ड टीनेज ट्यून्स, जिसमें बच्चों से उनकी पोएट्री सुनते थे. एंड दैट टीनेज ट्यून्स टर्न्ड आउट टू बी एन एक्टिविटी जहां पे हमें कुछ बहुत ही हाई क्वालिटी लिटरेचर बच्चों से मिलने लगा. एंड वैसा ही एक पीस आज आपको सुनाने के लिए वी हैव वन सच टीनेजर विद अस हु विल शेयर वन पोएट्री. बस उसका कॉन्टेक्स्ट में थोड़ा सा सेट कर दूं. ही वुड बी शेयरिंग द पोएट्री अबाउट समथिंग दैट इंडिया नीड्स राइट नाउ. हम इंडिया एज अ कॉन्सेप्ट या भारत एज अ कॉन्सेप्ट को काफी हद तक भूल गए, और हमें अब ये वापस से समझना होगा, रीडिस्कवर करना होगा दैट हाउ डू वी डिफाइन इंडिया और हाउ डू वी रीडिफाइन इंडिया. बिकॉज पॉलिटिकल नैरेटिव समय समय पर बदल सकता है, बट जो नेशनलिस्टिक नैरेटिव है वो नहीं बदलना चाहिए. दिस इज समथिंग दैट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. और बिफोर आई इनवाइट हिम, आई जस्ट वांट टू कोट अ पोर्शन ऑफ इंडियन माइथोलॉजी. हम सब ने विक्रम वेताल की कहानी सुनी है, जहां वेताल विक्रमादित्य के कंधे पे बैठकर उसे अलग अलग चीजें सुनाता है. और वो कहानी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट लेसन सारे एजुकेशन सेक्टर के लिए है. वो कहानी यही बताती है कि विक्रमादित्य वेताल के क्वेश्चंस से इंटेलिजेंट होता है, उसकी स्टोरीज से नहीं. वेताल जो कहानियां सुनाता है वो कहानियां उतनी क्रिटिकल नहीं है, वो आंसर्स उतने क्रिटिकल नहीं है, लेकिन वो जो सवाल पूछता है और उस सवालों पे विक्रमादित्य जो डिसीजन लेता है, दैट इज वेयर द रियल लर्निंग हैपेंस. सो वी मस्ट रिमेंबर, लेट क्वेश्चंस फ्लो. किसी के भी सवाल से कोई टीचर कभी ऑफेंड ना हो, और किसी भी बच्चा या किसी बच्चे की क्लास बिना सवाल के खत्म ना हो. दिस इज समथिंग दैट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज क्यूरियोसिटी अगर किल हो गई तो चैलेंज बहुत बड़ा हो जाएगा. सो लेट मी नाउ इनवाइट somebody who will share a perspective on redefining India. The student today with us is Mr. Varul Chaturvedi, who's a student of Royal Senior Secondary School from Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. The title of his poetry is Na Main Hindu Na Tu Musalman. So the next 3 minutes are yours, Varul. Please unmute yourself and we are all ears to you.
Hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, please.
Hello everyone, I am Varul Chaturvedi from Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh, and I'm here to recite a self-written poetry, ना मैं हिंदू ना तू मुसलमान. ये धरती है आज़ाद और कलाम की, ये धरती है आदाब और सलाम की, ये धरती है अल्लाह और राम की. एक बंटवारे ने मोल लिया दुश्मनी नाम की. मतभेद है पर मनभेद नहीं, मुश्किलें हैं मगर दिल को हमारे खेद नहीं. हाँ, ये मेरे भारत की भूमि है जिसे अशफाक उल्लाह खां और भगत सिंह ने साथ में चुनी है. कितने हिंदू भाइयों ने ईद पे सेवई खाई और कितने मुसलमान भाइयों ने दिवाली पे फुलझड़ियां हैं जलाई. क्योंकि तब ना हम हिंदू नहीं होते ना मुसलमान होते हैं, तब होते हैं इंसान. चारों ओर भाईचारा होता है, सब भाई भाई होते हैं, एक जैसी भाषा होती है, सब भाई भाई. कई बार भटक जाते हैं हम कौम और नेता की बातों में, शायद भूल जाते हैं वो सुबह के दिन की चाय या रात में जो क्रिकेट मैच देखा था कई रातों में. ना मैं हिंदू ना तू मुसलमान, ना तू कहे मुझे पाखंडी, ना मैं कहूँ कि तू बेचे अपना ईमान. क्योंकि ये देश है कलाम और आज़ाद का स्थान, अपना एक भारत है, मैं हूँ दिल तू है जान. हाँ, ये मेरे भारत की भूमि है जिसे अशफाक उल्लाह खां और भगत सिंह ने साथ में चुनी है. जय हिंद, जय भारत.
थैंक यू सो मच वरुण. हमें बार बार ये चीज समझनी चाहिए कि कोई ना कोई एक ऐसा मैकेनिज्म एजुकेशन में जरूर आना चाहिए जहां आप अपने फाइनल कंज्यूमर से बातचीत कर सकें, वो आपसे बातचीत कर सके, एंड उनकी ओपिनियंस और उनकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग को हम लोग अपनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग और वर्क फ्लो से मैच करा पाएं. क्योंकि यही एजुकेशन का काम है. एजुकेशन का एक अंडरलाइन पैराडॉक्स है कि हम हमेशा अपने से पिछली जनरेशन से पढ़ते हैं और अगली को पढ़ाते हैं, तो 2 जनरेशन का गैप हम आगे लेके जाते हैं. उसको ब्रिज करने का तरीका एक ही है, that let's keep talking to children. And before this call comes to an end, एक छोटी सी टीनेजर की स्टोरी आपके लिए, so that it's a good dose for your morning. And that's where Blub simply works on. एक ऐसा बच्चा है, and this story comes from all the way from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. एक ऐसा बच्चा है who's born with a disability where his fingers are fused, his legs were fused, लेकिन और wheelchair ridden, wheelchair छूट सकती ही नहीं थी, कोई चांस ही नहीं था. And but his parents and teachers की grit आप कह लें, या उनका उस बच्चे के पीछे dedication आप कह लें, their effort made him somebody जो शायद उसे कोई imagine कभी नहीं कर सकता था. That boy right now is the world surfing champion and is known as David Taxiaro, whom we call super able, क्योंकि उसने वो कर लिया जो शायद हम लोग पूरे शरीर के साथ भी नहीं कर पा रहे. So I hope these stories keep flowing, because हमें एक चीज समझनी है, education now is no more about imparting, it's about inspiring. Thank you so much, people. I hope you enjoyed the last 60 to 100 minutes that you spent with us. If you did, and if you want to attend the future sessions, open your audio, say a big yes, and thank you so much for being a part of the Blub World's 4th Global Education. Thank you, people. Thank you.
Certainly yes, Daksh. Certainly
Yes.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daksh. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Daksh, thank you very